He's like the guy who just constantly supports everyone and is like the guy with the heart of gold that every female in a 70-foot radius falls in love with. And it's boring. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to episode 11. The finale, the final episode, the END of Oshi. Now, I'm not gonna lie, so far, I think this show is average, really. I don't feel like it has anything to really offer. Nothing too interesting. It's almost like the show itself doesn't know what it wants to do. But we'll get more into that afterwards, after this episode, where I'll give my final thoughts on the whole series. Last episode, episode 10, Pressure, Arima Kana had some, feelings of pressure, as the title of the episode stated. I also wrote down that they force Aqua into everything, and honestly, it's just kind of annoying. As I said last episode, I personally think that if they just took Aqua out of the show and made Ruby the centerpiece of the show, it would actually be better, like legitimately, because Aqua doesn't really belong. So either they focus on Aqua and his revenge plot, or they just take Aqua out of the show. And I feel like one or the other should have been the case. But now they want to have multiple pies and have a piece of every pie instead of just having one and focusing on one. You know, sometimes you throw a lot of things at the wall hoping that they would stick, but because you have so much shit sticking to the wall, it all comes down, crumbling down because they're interfering with each other. There's too much shit on the wall. But in any case, we shall get into the final episode, episode 11 of Oshi. Without further ado.
この後どうする？帰るかな。マナは？さっき楽屋ブースで可愛い子見かけて、ちょっと見てこうかなって。
あ、店長、このまま次のステージ見てっていいっすか？メムチョが出るんすよ。
名前は聞いたことあるな。何の子？
配信者なんですけどね。可愛くておもろいんすよ。最近今勝ちって番組出てて。
ああ、炎上したやつか。
その子が B 小町ってグループに入ったんすよ。
B 小町？
知ってるんすか？
今の子は知らんのか。それ昔あったグループの襲名だよ。愛っていう伝説的な子がいてさ。そりゃもうすごかったんだけど、志半ばで死んじゃってさ。名前だけ同じでもね。ま、一応ちょっと見て帰るか。
Yeah, they're already setting it up to be like, at first everyone will think that they're kind of average, but then they will shine or do something special, and then oh my god, people will feel like they are being affected and they are being drawn into their shininess and blah 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 blah. We've seen it all before. Pretty much every band anime or music anime does the same thing. You know, one thing I was surprised about was the fact that they actually made Arima Kana the center, quote unquote. You know what I'm gonna expect, right? That there's gonna be some sort of, like, it's gonna be good, but it's not gonna be super good. And then Aqua's gonna do something. I don't know, maybe with the stage or something. And then all of a sudden, incredible. Like maybe he's gonna activate some sort of lighting setting or something that he set up beforehand, and that will make the show a lot more fun or something, and he's gonna do something. Because of course he's gonna do something. That's what I feel like is gonna happen.
何でもいいなら白。白か。ダメなの？ダメじゃないけど、特別枠感出てずるいって思う子もいて揉めがちだから。そうなんだ。いいじゃん。ドルオタじゃない先輩らしいっちゃらしいし。 大丈夫。一度ステージに上がれば別に緊張とかない。うちの客はネムちゃん目当てで、みんなあの子が見たくて来てる。
I don't know how much of this I can, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to mute most of it. That's just how it is with songs, in anime. But I just wanted to say that they're kind of doing what Hoshinoi was doing, right? Hoshinoi was like analyzing and like trying to form the perfect smile and stuff like that. She's kind of doing the same thing, where she's analyzing and like calculating, I guess. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, there's gonna be some power of friendship thing going on. But again, the problem is that they say that, oh, this is not like Bikomachi at all. It's like, really though? It kind of is. But that's what the anime tried to like get across, is that Hoshinoi's influence or like stage presence was somehow so magnificent and powerful that without her, it's not the same. But at the same time, that's kind of bullshit, If you think about it realistically, I mean, how much of a stage presence could she have possibly had? The only thing we saw was, oh my god, zoom into my eyes and you'll see the star. But from what I remember, which I don't, of Hoshinoi singing, it was good, but like, the fact that I don't remember tells it all, I think. So this whole like Hoshinoi having an incredible stage presence, I don't know, I never bought it. Like I understand, maybe in the show, maybe in this world, she did have some sort of stage presence, but I wouldn't say they managed to translate that to the audience watching us. Again, now it seems like they're doing the whole thing where, Ruby has the same stage presence, I guess. I mean, sure, okay, but like, it doesn't translate well. I never got the whole Hoshinoi real smile thing, where, she was trying to smile well, and then people were like, oh my god, her smile doesn't seem normal or something, or human. And then when she had her children and she saw that the children were watching, then she smiled for real. It was like, dude, the smile is exactly the same. It doesn't translate well to us, the audience watching the show. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but if you can't show us that, the audience, it doesn't really work.
この子は眩しいな。アイドルが好きでずっと楽しそうで、アイドルになるために生まれてきたみたいな子。今この瞬間も誰かの心を奪ってどんどんファンを増やして、こういう子が上がっていくんだろう。次はみんなお待ちかねのあの大ヒットソング。3位は B。 羨ましい。みんなに見てもらえて、求められて、私のことを見てくれる人は誰もいない。
There it is.
ママも
Oh, okay. They're gonna go a little bit deeper. I was gonna think like she's just going like, oh, there's no one who watches me, and then Aqua's gonna be in the audience, and then they make eye contact, and then she's gonna be like, oh my god, Aqua's watching. I'm gonna smile for real. I'm gonna be happy. That's probably what's gonna happen.
マネージャーも私のことほったらかして、ファンですら見てるのは昔の私の面影だけ。誰か私を見て、それだけを十数年叫び続けてきたのに、私が必要だと言って、それさえ言ってくれるなら、私はどれだけでも頑張ってみせる。あの子は使えるって言って、そしたら馬車馬のように働くよ。頑張ったねって褒めて、そしたらもっともっと頑張るのに。誰か私はここにいていいって言って。
See? Told ya.
済ました顔して何してんのあいつ。ご丁寧に3人のサイリウム振って箱押し気取りかこの浮気者め。私のこと大好きにさせてみせる。あんたの推しの子になってやる。
店長、あの子もなんか良くないっすか？1曲目より表情も良くなってきて正直押せる。
3人とも他のグループならエース級の容姿。特に真ん中の子はおたうけど真ん中だし歌もうまい。
人気出るかもな。
Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought. It was still bad in terms of how they resolved her problem. I wasn't gonna say in the middle of all that, but Arima Kana's problem, I guess, to want to be needed, they made it into like a bigger problem in the sense that it wasn't just about acting or being seen while acting, right? I think, they kind of tried to roll it into one big ball of like, I want to be needed. And yeah, I understand that, but that has nothing to do with acting or being an idol or people seeing you. There's been other stories before where, characters have wanted to be needed, but you don't exactly need to be an entertainer for that in general. Like, sure, you could, but the problem is that just personally, I preferred Arima Kana when she was passionate about her acting. That's when I preferred her. So the fact that she was so easily able to just throw that away and go into the idol business, and now they kind of turn her passion into a want to be needed, and it's like, like God, I mean, at this point, I don't even care. At this point, I don't even care about Aqua. You know what I'm gonna predict? No one's saying anything, but Aqua's gonna be talking to Arima Kana and saying like, "You were great up there," or something. Nothing? Oh. This is what I thought might happen at first, where she asks the question of how well did we do, but I honestly thought that she wouldn't be able to bring it up. And then he starts the conversation.
まあ、初めてにしてはよくやったんじゃないか。
何それ、もっと褒めなさいよ。
それはできない。有馬たちはこれからもっとすごいライブをやれるだろうし、それを考えたらここで高得点出すのはもったいない。
やっと話する気になったみたいね。
なんだか仲悪いですよね。
あれはそういうのじゃないわよ。
Yeah, there's some cringe going on.
ねえ、アクア、今勝ちの茜とはうまくいってるの？
いや、まだあれから会ってない。
そうなの？
そりゃただの仕事相手だしな。インスタ用の写真を2人で撮りに行くって話はしてるけど。
仕事？そうよね。あの黒川茜があんたなんかに本気になるはずないもの。
I thought she knew.
ダメよ、ああいうの本気にしちゃ。ああ、やだやだ。
Did she not know?
茜、次の仕事が決まったぞ。
え、これ本当ですか？アクア君、
Oh!
一緒にお仕事できる。
That was my notebook hitting my head. Or rather, my head hitting my notebook. You know, I just... You know, fuck it, never mind. I can't even be asked.
なんでそんなことしてたわけ？
だって、お前、俺と話してくれなかったじゃん。
それだけ？それだけの理由なの？そんであのきっしょい声出して。てかうまいね、モノマネ。意外な特技持ってるじゃん。すごーい。
だからな、俺と話したくない有馬は俺の指導なんて受け付けないだろ。あくまで妹の初ライブを成功させるために。
はいはい、例のシスコンムーブってわけね。便利な言い訳持ってるわね。あの二人仲直りしたみたいでよかったね。今まさに仲悪くなろうとしてる風にも見えるけど。いいのいいの、お兄ちゃんはあんまり人と関わらないタイプだから。あれくらいかましてくる人じゃないと関係続かないんだよ。もともとはああじゃなかったんだけどね。そうなんだ。まあいろいろあって人格ねじ曲がっちゃったんだよね。あら。先輩といる時はちょっと昔のお兄ちゃんみたい。あかね、ちょっと頑張んないとだぞ。
予算もがっつり取ってきたし、今回は派手に行くよ。ステー
Some
ジも
sort of fake anime.
360度回転させて CG を多用し、原作の雰囲気を再現。裏方もいいとこ押さえておいた。そして舞台化にあたって劇団ララライの協力も取り付けた。
おお、熱いね。あの金田一さんをよく口説き落としたもんだ。
やっぱ予算の力よ。舞台はどこも懐事情厳しいから。あとはキャスティングなんだけど、ララライから黒川茜は積もれそう。でも客層的にイケメンと美人は必須なわけ。あそこは若いキャスト少ないから、何人か外部の子引っ張ってこないとね。この辺強いのはやっぱ冠城ちゃんでしょうよ。なんかいい子いない？
いないことはないけど、多分これから来る子たち紹介してもいいけど、歌詞一つだぜ。
This is all fun and good and fun and all, but like, why would Aqua do it? There's no reason to. Or is his point that this is an in with the la 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 theater, whatever the fuck?
こんな感じでいいかな。
わかんないけどいいんじゃね。
Yeah, it's just I'm so over this harem thing. I'm so over this romance bullshit. I just don't care.
しばらくは安泰だけど、例の件、もうそっちには話行った？
東京ブレイドの話か。
そうそう。お世話になってるララライって劇団が中心になってやるから、私にも話来てるんだ。
劇団ララライ。
何かの一助になればと思い、僕がある劇団のワークショップを紹介した。
You know, yeah, he's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take the job so I can get closer to this workshop la 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 bullshit, right? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Let's be honest here. It's complete bull. Wanting to gain information of people working in this workshop theater group thing, they just use it as like a plot device so that Aqua would have an excuse to take part in things where girls fall for him. That's what it is. That's all it is. This whole like serious finding out who the father is so he can get his revenge, this is all just a plot device to have Aqua interacting with the girls. That's all it is.
ワークショップ。
劇団ララライっていう。
Yeah, we already saw this.
オファー来てて、アクアは陶器役でしょ？二人は。
Of course, the two of them are lovers. Of course. Now you want to play this other actor with me, right? So we can kiss, right? Of course they're fucking lovers. Why wouldn't they be, right?
ヒロインキャラと相棒キャラのどっちと結ばれるかで毎週盛り上がってるよ。
陶器の相棒キャラ、剣か。
あっちもそろそろ決まるはず。誰になるんだろうね。私よ。
Oh
my god. They even managed to go so far as to bend the laws of reality to suit their fucking love triangle bullshit. I'll talk about this afterwards.
こういう投稿から悪質なファンに追いかけられてストーカー被害に遭うこともある。外での写真はすべて予約投稿が基本。また変な揉め事で周りに迷惑かけたいの？学習しないわね、黒川茜。今はアイドルだもんね。茜？ずっと盤上に引きこもってお金になる。
I don't care about this, like at all.
あ、そういえば最近恋愛リアリティショー出てたっけ？私生活切り売りして人気出てきたらしいじゃない。よかったわね。
有馬？
昔からやりたかった役を片っ端から持っていかれて、想像してよ。あの天才子役と同じ年に生まれちゃった役者の気持ちを。でも今は負けない。かなちゃんがピーマン体操とかふざけた曲出してる間も私はずっと稽古してた。積年の恨みを晴らすチャンスがやっと来た。負けないぞ。
役者ってどいつもこいつも絶対負け。
What are they even talking about? What am I missing here? I refuse to lose. Lose what? You're. They're acting different characters. It's not like you're auditioning for the same character. They're acting different characters. They're both in the show. What do you mean, I refuse to lose? What are you gonna do? Refuse to lose what? This fucking, which character ends up with the guy? So what are you gonna do? Like, go and threaten the fucking manga author to be like, make my character fall in love with the guy so we can be together, so we can, when we act on stage, we can kiss. Like, what? Huh? Are they talking about the romance with Aqua? Is that it? It's just so... I don't even like... I don't even know what to say.
かつて天才と呼ばれた子役と今まさに天才と呼ばれてる役者。ここをぶつける冠城ちゃんもうまくてえぐいね。東京ブレイドの舞台、個人的にも楽しみになってきたな。
私さ、ルビーももしかしたらこの先アイドルになるのかもって思ってて。アクアは役者さん、二人はどんな大人になるのかな。
愛をあんな目に合わせたやつが芸能界にいる。
Yeah, we don't care at this point.
手を使ってでも必ず見つけ出してやる。そのためなら俺は。
Yeah, you'll do what? Nothing. Because the show is over. Get fucked. Is there a after credit scene or? Well, so that was it. Very, very disappointing last episode. I didn't mind too much how the Idol Festival thing went, how the performance went, but the rest of the episode was... I think the rest of the episode was pretty much exactly what I would say the entire show was like. Just a bunch of fluff, a bunch of cringe teen romance. Not even romance. I wouldn't even consider this romance because there is no romance. There's just a bunch of girls liking the same guy. That's it. And then pretty much every problem that they have either gets solved by the guy or something having to do with the guy. Or maybe even the problems themselves are caused by the guy. Not on purpose, but because, as I said, it has to do with the girl liking the guy. This whole Arima Kana and where is she? Fucking Akane, right? Their beef, I guess. Like what? Huh? Akane had one of her or a couple of her roles stolen by Arima Kana. Is that it? And what, they now hate each other? And they're like, oh, I refuse to lose. It's like, yeah, sure, bro. Sure, bro. Let's make it seem as if it's not all about the fucking guy standing right next to you. Let's be real here. Because of course the two girls that hate each other fall in love with the same guy. Because of course, right? It's just such generic drama. Honestly, let's talk about Aqua for a second here. I personally think throughout this whole show, I think Aqua was just a much better character in the first episode. He essentially went from being the main character to being a supporting character. He's like the guy who just constantly supports everyone and is like the guy with the heart of gold that every female in a 70-foot radius falls in love with. And it's boring. It's hella boring. Even when they had a fucking fake out of Payon, right? Giving some good advice. Oh, it turns out to be fucking Aqua in disguise. It's just so... It's just so cringe. It's so average. It's painfully average. I think that kind of sums the whole show up. Painfully average. I don't know why people say that this is like incredibly good show or whatnot. Yeah, they touched up on some serious stuff with, Akane's like, toaster bath, jumping off a high place incident. But like, that's all they really do. They touch, they do a little soft touch of like a bigger issue, right? They do it like a soft. Yeah, like a soft. You hear that? Like a soft touch, right? That's what they do. But when it comes to the penetration, after the foreplay, do you do a little penetration? No. You do a little... And then you're done. Power of friendship. Teen romance drama without any romance. And it's just... It's disappointing. It's painfully average. In the end, Aqua just solves everyone's problems behind the scenes. We don't really focus on his investigation because he himself doesn't seem to be investigating much. He's just kind of following information as it comes to him instead of actively going out to investigate things. Because obviously, we would need to see what he's doing, right? But they want to focus on this idol thing, so, we can't show what Aqua is doing. Or rather, we can't have Aqua actively investigating, because then we would have to show what he's doing. But because we don't want to show what he's doing, we'll just make him like, I don't know, just following some lead. Oh, but he's so focused on this, finding the father and stuff like that. He doesn't want to act. Let's say he gets information for acting. Oh yeah, that way we can push him into all kinds of shit. Because he'll do it because there's some promise of information. And then that's kind of what they do. They kind of drip feed information to Aqua, forcing him into these acting roles. And then pretending like, oh, Aqua's only taking these roles for the information. Meanwhile, every single fucking acting job that he gets, there's some sort of female trying to get in his pants. It's disappointing. As I said, the whole show, they have some potential. There is potential. I can see that there is potential. But the problem is that they don't focus on any of it. Or rather, it's almost like they don't understand what potential they have. They have potential with the whole father storyline. They also have potential with the idol storyline. But they can't seem to fucking focus. 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 Focus on one thing. Not 7 other things. You focus on one thing. you do one thing well, then maybe you can add something else. But at this point, with what we got, I don't, and again, before you start talking, you know, before you start commenting, the manga does not matter. I don't care if they explain some things in the manga, I don't care if the manga goes further deep, blah blah, don't care. The anime, which is the only thing I'm going off of, needs to be a fully realized story on its own. There's no, I don't care that the manga exists. It's like when you go into a new video game, the lore and the story has to be inside the video game. If in the video game, the game tells me to go to some website to read the lore and the story, they can go fuck themselves. I'm not gonna fucking go and read some website. I'm just not. The same exact thing applies here. It doesn't matter that you're adapting some sort of story from some other medium. It doesn't matter. You need to tell the full story. And because they are only doing a small part of the story, they better make it conclusive. Or like, they better make it fit. I'm not saying that they should like fit the entire story into the 11 episodes or anything. But I am saying that if they are going to do 11 episodes, like 1/10 of the story, then it's like, you gotta do at least like a conclusive arc where there's a beginning, middle, and end. Regardless, in the case of the audience, it does not fucking matter. The manga does not matter. I do not give a shit about the manga, and so, if the anime has problems, I am going to call them out. It doesn't matter if you're adapting a story from another medium, whatever you're adapting, whatever story you're adapting, needs to be able to stand on its own 2 feet. Aqua in general, I feel like, it was just not utilized. Even though he was the main character, basically, he was almost like a side character. That's what it felt like. It felt like he was a side character. On the other hand, I thought Ruby was gonna have a much bigger influence on the story. I thought Ruby was gonna be the one recruiting all the girls to the idol group. Meanwhile, Aqua is doing his revenge thing. I thought that was gonna be how it was gonna work, right? But instead, they took Aqua away from the investigation part and made him into some sort of supporting character for the idol group. And it's just, it's so boring. The fluff, I guess, a lot of it had to do with the girls liking Aqua. Basically, the whole drama with girls having feelings for Aqua and constantly some romance, teen romance bullshit going on. And again, notice that's already the 3rd thing. First we had Aqua and his fucking revenge plot. Then we have Ruby with the idol thing, the idol group thing. On top of that, we have this romance drama going on. These are like overall overarching big storylines in 11 episodes. That's a fucking mistake. That's why, as I said, they throw everything at the wall hoping that something sticks. Nothing does because they throw 700 things at the wall at the same time. It doesn't stick. Have you thrown a fucking dart at a dartboard and then thrown another one and then another one and then another one? Eventually, you're gonna get to a point where the darts start hitting each other and then they all fall. That's what's happening. Instead of just focusing a little bit more on the revenge plot or the idol group part, half the time was about the fucking drama and the romance. And even though I say romance, there wasn't actually any romance because Aqua doesn't seem to give a shit, right? It's just these girls one-sidedly fighting over Aqua, and it's just fucking cringe. All that fucking time wasted on this bullshit. I guess to me, I just don't like wasted time, in the sense that I would fully understand, and I would be fully for a romance scenario. Don't misunderstand, I enjoy romance. It's just that we can see that no romance is going to happen. Because Aqua is the way Aqua is. He's not interested. Or at least, he doesn't show it. The point is, he's clearly not really giving a shit about this romance bullshit. It's not really the point of the show. And it's clear that Aqua isn't really interested. Not really. I view it as a waste of time because we know that Aqua's not gonna get into a relationship with any of them. Why? Because exactly the same reason why that I explained some episodes ago, I think, where a show like this will have the fan base will have their ships, and there's a reason why in a harem anime, almost in every harem anime, the main character will never end up with anyone. Why is that? Well, because the fans have made their ships. Other fans would be furious and mad if the author actually had the main character get together with one of the girls. Essentially, they make it into a will they, won't they kind of thing, and they never finish it. They never finish it. They leave it up to our interpretation. As I said, I don't mind romance at all if it's actually romance, not some one-sided bullshit. Yeah, Arima Kana, I'm conflicted about her character, because I like the fact that she has some problems, right? I like the fact that this character has some deep-rooted emotional issues. Okay, I like that. What I don't like is that almost every one of these issues comes around back to Aqua. Again, why? I mean, even at the end here, she's like, oh, I'm so jealous of Ruby, you know, she has the talent. I don't have this. I just want someone to see me, to look at me. There's no one who looks my way. And then, oh my god, look, it's Aqua holding the white, right? Holding the white. Oh my god, Aqua is there for me. You know what this is? You know what this really is? There's probably loads of other people who love watching her as well, but they're simps. They are just fans, right? When it's the hot, cool guy who you know that looks at you, then all your problems are solved. All your mental issues are solved because the hot guy, the hot-looking guy that you know looked at you. Let's be honest. There's at least 20 other guys in that fucking group, in that fucking audience, who are looking at her as well. But because Aqua is looking, because he's hot, because he helped her out, because she has feelings for him, her problems are solved. As I said, she has some emotional issues, which I like. You know, in a character, I like that they are struggling with something, but her issues end up being solved by Aqua. It's like, instead of her actually, I don't know, working out these problems or having some real friend, maybe like Ruby or something, or, you know, like having her fellow idol members helping her out with it, or figuring shit out for herself, it always just feels like Aqua's like the guy who's just there, gives good advice, and then all the girls just fall for him. And that's basically the whole show. The one thing I wrote down for this episode was, and funny how we're exactly in this position, I wrote down, everything comes back to Aqua and romance. And honestly, yeah, that's exactly it. Everything always comes back to this exact thing. No matter how we try to have these characters work out shit on their own or with each other, no. We just have to have these girls, and bear in mind, we can't have any other guys in the show. Everyone has to be a girl, okay? Everyone has to be a girl. The only guy needs to be the hot guy Aqua, right? Or old, you know, like that fucking Kaburagi guy. Everything needs to come back to Aqua and romance. Even if it's not about romance at first, it will be eventually. That's what it is. And at the end of the day, I mean, I haven't even gotten to the fact that I think overall, this final episode was just really be let down in general. It's like they tried to do some sort of ending montage. The ending thing is just like, the guy who put I through all that is someone in the entertainment industry.
Incorrect.
The guy who put I through all that is dead. He committed suicide after he killed I. Remember? The stalker who stabbed her committed suicide afterwards. Yeah, it's like we forgot about this. You can't really blame the father. As I said, we don't know what their connection is. We don't even know if the father was the one who leaked the information. We're just going off of assumption. But yeah, like they just repeated what we already know. Oh, by whatever means necessary, I will find him. And to accomplish that, I will... It's exactly what I said. Painfully average. And because of that, the final rating that I would give this show is a 5 out of 10. Painstakingly average. It's painfully average. Like, there are some very few and far between. There's some bright moments. A couple, here and there, sometimes. But they're way few and far between to actually matter. And honestly, I'm sorry, but like, cute anime girls, I don't care. I don't care. I like cute anime girls as much as the next guy, but it's like fancy food. It's fancy, it looks fancy, but when you actually taste it, it fucking sucks. It's pretty, but when you bite into it, it's just kind of underwhelming, like heavily, painstakingly average. I don't know what I expected. I at least expected some sort of like bigger revelation at the end of the first season of a bigger revelation of the father storyline. There was nothing. I just don't even like, they ended it in such a weird place. They didn't even try. And again, notice how there was no romance? Aqua didn't even show a single strand of interest in any of the girls, so the romance part of it is out of the window. It's painfully average. And I think I'm gonna just leave it at that. If you've gotten this far, you have to understand, if you're a fan of Oshinoko, I don't mind. Like, you can be a fan of the show. You can like the show for all I care. I don't care. You can like whatever show you want. It's just that to me, even though I didn't like it that much, I found it average. I want you to understand that I don't just hate it and then try to give you examples of why I hate it. It's not like I don't like the show and then I try to find reasons why I don't like it. I find reasons that I don't like which make me dislike the show, right? There's a difference. The fact is, like, I want to enjoy this show. I want to like this show. I really do. I want to like all the shows that I watch. But unfortunately, I have things that I just don't agree with. Essentially, I'm hoping that I explain things well enough to where you can kind of understand where I'm coming from. Why I don't like this show that much, or why I consider certain things to be average, certain things not to be average. I hope I explain my reasoning well enough. Again, it looked pretty, but the substance, well, there was no substance. Not really. They like brushed it a little, but that was it. Right? They didn't actually take a bite. They didn't take a bite into the juiciness of the dark side, right? They didn't take a bite into the deeper storylines. They just kind of... And that was it. In any case, I hope you enjoyed my reaction to Oshinoko. Final verdict, 5 out of 10. Painfully average. It's not my show, personally. If you like it, you like it. I just find it painfully average. I still hope you enjoyed seeing my reactions, or at least thinking about your favorite story from another point of view. If you have any recommendations for anything you might want to see me react to, like any other shows, as long as they're somewhat short, up to like 20-something episodes, let me know. I might have already seen the show. Bear in mind, most likely I've seen more anime than any of you. I'm 99% sure I've seen more anime than any of you, probably combined. If you have some show that you think is decent, or you like, maybe you just want to see my reaction to it, let me know. I may or may not watch it, who knows? And I'll see you next time.